Let's dig in. Hey guys, I'm Mark Koenig, and that intro was my way of apologizing in advance for this super indulgent 1,000 subscribers Q&A video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, because at this point onward it's going to be pretty frivolous. I started this channel 3 months ago, and I have made 8 videos so far, not including this one. Most of those videos either being about Rome research, online learning, or using digital productivity and tools to live more creative lives. Yes, that is a tagline. Tagline's a work in progress. In that time, I have gotten 1,000 subscribers, which, if you know anything about typical YouTube growth rates, is actually pretty good. As you can see from this chart, which I've helpfully scooted over to this side of the frame so that you can take a look at. I feel like a weatherman. If I had to attribute the fairly rapid growth rate to anything, I would say it's just spending a lot of time per video. The Abdaal course review took me basically 3 months to make, if you include the course time itself. The 100 Rome tips video I've been working on since, I think, July last year. So I just think when you spend that much time, plus you have the fundamentals in place, you have gear, good mic, that kind of stuff, I think that just really makes people want to subscribe to you early on. They see the low number, they probably feel bad. Assume that you have a lot of quality coming in the future. Additionally, I've just been motivated by the incredible support from the Part-Time YouTuber Academy group of folks who are taking that course in the first and second cohort, as well as my accountability group on Twitter of YouTubers who are just starting out. With that out of the way, let's move on to some Q&A. This one is from Jessica. Thoughts on motivation to start? For my motivation to start, really I'd been saving a lot of ideas in a notebook in Rome. I had been working at a startup for quite some time, and I'd been basically interested in writing, blogging, creating content since I was 22. I'm 31 now, so that's a lot of ideas and a lot of backlog that I had just stored up inside of me, waiting to get out. I think that if you don't have a similar amount of time invested into something that you want to share about, it would be kind of hard to get motivated. Once you have a lot of ideas and topics that you've really just compulsively been recording, coming up with ideas and the motivation to start is really not the biggest issue. It's more of the motivation to continue when your content sucks. Thoughts on looking back at your first video? I think that first video is horrible. The sound is all wonky. I was really excited about the ability to have sound at all. I actually thought about removing it a couple times. Several of my first videos I thought about removing. But actually it's consistently gotten organic traffic to it. People keep watching it, people leave appreciative comments. So it's just really a lesson in perfectionism, I guess. I really just need to bury it by making more and more videos so that no one can find it. Also, are you close to monetization yet? So monetization takes 1,000 people subscribe to you, so got it, done. But it also takes 4,000 watch hours, which I'm not quite at. So if I'm extrapolating using maths, I can probably monetize within the next few months. Thanks, guys. How did you balance between quantity and quality of your craft? So this is actually the most difficult conflict for me, the thing that has the most tension associated with making things in general. I was originally aiming for a 1 to 2 videos a week system. I actually at one point mapped out what it would take to make 3 videos a week, which is now hilarious to me. But I've ended up being about every other week on average, which is still pretty good. This hasn't seemed to really impede my growth majorly, but it does give me a lot of anxiety that I'm not posting enough. I consider myself a recovering workaholic, so the temptation to do too much at once, that's actually more insidious to me than the trap of going for too much quality and that form of perfectionism. There's 2 videos that I shot and had to bin after spending quite a bit of time on them, and that sucks. But I think that really the way that I'm making a channel, the promise I'm making with you guys, is to make high quality stuff every time that I post. It doesn't mean I have to have my best work every time I post, but it does need to be to a standard that I'm proud of and that I'm excited to share. I've started my own channel, but I'm not sure how to attract new subscribers. What are your tips for promoting your channel through platforms outside of YouTube? So if you're just starting out and you're in your first 100 subscribers or so, basically you just want your friends, family, or any communities you're into to subscribe manually so that you start getting enough views that you don't feel like you are posting into the void and that no one's watching it and then it doesn't matter at all. Typically you want to ask people for input and for feedback. That's more encouraging than saying like, check this out, give me a like. People are more willing to critique your early work and then that'll actually make them bigger fans, interestingly enough. As a side note, I used to work with nonprofits helping them with fundraising and marketing, and typically if you ask for advice, you end up getting money. If you ask for money, you end up getting advice. So just start with asking for advice from people and then you'll end up getting fans. Once you have 100 subscribers, you actually really don't need to worry too much about promoting externally. At that point, you want to figure out how you can make videos that get YouTube to like you. The big challenge isn't external people and getting external channels to send YouTube traffic. Really, that's not going to scale long term. You want YouTube to promote you to people watching YouTube videos. So keep posting things with the goal of finding something that resonates with YouTube from a discovery perspective. My friend James asks, what's your life really like without the hipster flannel and the plants? The answer is honestly, it is. It is horrible. It's like I'm a totally different person. Yikes. Richard asks, what would you consider a key part of the video creation itself? And what's a key technical part? Keywords, analytics, thumbnail. So I think the biggest things that are most valuable are actually YouTube agnostic. So the script itself, like what are you talking about? How concise is it? How interesting is the content you're discussing? And then the editing, which is how does it feel to watch? Is it enjoyable, fun, exciting? If you don't have audio or video quality, those are things to upgrade as soon as you can. But I think editing and then the underlying content themselves are the most important things that you should focus on almost over anything else. Thumbnail and title are super important, but less so than you would think because you can change them, whereas you can't change your audio, video quality, the content itself. You are limited on those things. Once you post it, they're forever. I think almost no analytics matter, especially at the beginning, because really, if you're getting views and subscribers, those actually correlate pretty well to whether you're doing a good job or not. It's not actually that complicated. James asks, you got to 1,000 subs by working hard and making great videos. How can I get to 1,000 subs without having to do any of that hard work stuff? James, I'm glad you asked. There are some proven ways to do this that I have noticed in my time on the YouTubes. Day in the life videos for pretty much any career, it seems. Make product reviews of anything. Desk setups 2021. Make funny skits where you talk to yourself. Basically anything that plays off 90s Gen Y nostalgia, especially video game soundtracks with anime backgrounds. And then of course, slow motion, coffee making, B-roll montages. That's basically the secret weapon. Alex asks, who's your favorite member of the YouTuber takeover gang and why is it Alex? Because his parka game is just so strong. Sam asks, how much do you think Ali Abdaal's course helped you achieve this? So I think it was actually instrumental to me in two ways. The first of those ways is giving me sufficient startup energy. Basically, if you're doing anything difficult, you need startup energy and you need fuel. So the startup energy will give you that kind of escape velocity to do your initial efforts and to really get going on a thing. Whereas long term, you need that sort of fuel that will keep you sustained to do something for the long haul. Being a part of a course, especially one that is structured so clearly and that had a built-in accountability system, was a great way to really start up and do the YouTube thing. I actually wasn't going to launch a YouTube channel till who knows when. I didn't have any immediate plans to do it. So the course massively motivated me to take action, make it happen. And then the second thing it helped with is not having to think about all the stupid stuff. So I knew immediately what camera I should buy, how much it mattered, how to use my mic, how to edit. Kind of all the things that I think would impede that initial startup energy and really exhaust me and keep me from beginning. So I guess in summary, very important for getting started, a little bit less important for the continued journey. Jim asks, what is your video workflow like? Basically, anytime I get an idea, I write it down either in Simple Note, Roam, or into Notion. I've created a general roadmap of the next 10 to 30 videos that I want to create. Really making that plan is more important than following it, and I kind of make whatever video I feel like in any given week, but it's based on the general kind of roadmap and thought process that I want to follow for growing the channel. Then I try and divide my time into writing weeks and editing weeks. Ideally, I want to get it to a system where it's write, then film, then spend a week editing, and then be 2 weeks ahead. Oh, and I try and keep as much of my gear set up at any given time as possible just to reduce the startup friction of making a video. My friend Hayat asks, how do you make your script and how do you organize it later to fit the whole video? Any tips for storytelling? So storytelling is an area that I think I can improve quite a bit on, so I don't have a ton of advice for that. I would say in general, just try and make things as personal as possible. Don't bury the lead, so talk about why you're telling the story at first. Keep people in suspense, create a narrative arc, the kind of classic things, I guess. I have a template for script-wise, a framework that I got from the Abdaal course. Any topic that I'm working on, I typically have a decent amount of material on in Rome. For example, I just filmed a short on friendship, which had almost nothing on the page, but then when I looked at the linked and unlinked references, had it about 50 to 70 different things that I'd either written about or that other people had said that I thought were interesting about friendship. So I was able to take that, brain dump that, and then quickly write out a script that made kind of sense in Rome. Bring that in, put that on my iPad. I can have my little notes that I can refer to, and then I edit it a little bit on the fly so that it feels natural. Well, that's it for questions. If you're still watching this and if you have subscribed so far, thank you. It's a huge encouragement and source of motivation. I appreciate you. In terms of my goals for the channel, I'm just gonna keep posting videos. I think I'm gonna look less at my subscriber count from this point on. I do have the goal of getting my wife to notice my channel. She has not yet subscribed, no matter what I do, so goals, you know? Thank you for watching and take care.